welcome back to episode 3 of Filler in the Blanks. Today I'm joined by
Lauren.
And what's your major?
I'm a politics major.
And tell us why you're qualified to talk about cosmetic plastic surgery.
I'm qualified to talk about cosmetic plastic surgery because I know a bunch of people from home who have gotten it at some point in either high school or the first couple years of college.
Perfect. So today's episode, we're going to be talking about baby Botox and talking about injectables in the face. Today we're just going to start with a little overview of baby Botox. Fun fact about baby Botox, I didn't even know what it was until Lauren here actually brought it up. So this episode was actually created because of Lauren. So yay. But baby Botox is basically just a procedure where you can get Botox injections in your face in smaller dosage or micro dosage, and it helps prevent wrinkles in the face. A lot of people start getting it in their 20s so that they don't get like long-lasting wrinkles. Anything else that you want to say to add on to that?
Also, like, most of the people that I know, it's like encouraged by their moms, like them and their moms will go and do it together, which I think is just kind of a weird concept. I don't know, like, my mom would be very against that. Like, I just think it's kind of weird.
Yeah. But this is what we know about baby Botox. I kept calling it baby face Botox. So I also messed up there. But yeah, baby Botox. And so I'm just gonna read a little summary that I will also include down below, which is all about baby Botox. And so it works by let's see.
Go ahead. Prevents muscle contractions in the face. So it goes between the layer between your skin and the muscles so that when your face moves, the dynamic wrinkles don't come, which is like when you smile, if you get like creases around your eyes or like you get like lines at your cheeks, like that, or like when you raise your eyebrows and you get those little Wi-Fi lines in your forehead, all of that would be like frozen by Botox.
So yes, prevents the wrinkles from staying when your face is like resting.
Yeah, like settling.
Yes. Yeah, so it says it's smaller doses. That means there's less chance of noticing any signs of cosmetic procedures because it's not like a gradual change from like, there's a lot of people that have like the plastic face where they're like, their face is full of plastic, because they have like such high amounts of like Botox injected in their face.
Also, most of those people with the really plastic looking faces have Botox, but they also have fillers, so they're kind of layered on top of each other.
Nice. We love that.
Yeah. So gross.
Yeah, so that's basically about the procedure per se. I have a little plan here that we're using. But yes, so obviously you've heard about baby Botox. Cost aside, is it something that you would consider getting? Why or why not?
I think if you asked me 2 years ago, I'd be like, yeah, I'd totally do it. But I think like aging is just something everybody does. Like, it's kind of sad that like we as a society like make people feel like they can't get older, you know? Like it's just an aesthetic thing. If you're getting it in your face, like people will get Botox for other reasons, and like that's totally valid, but I just think like just an aesthetic reason of it is a little, I don't know, it's just like makes me sad that people don't feel like they can grow up or like get older.
Yeah, I would definitely say I disagree with that. Like, okay, like I said, she's the one that enlightened me on this procedure. And at first I was like, ew, what the heck? Like, why would people get that, especially at such a young age, like Botox and like getting that kind of procedures for older people. But we watched this video, and the video is by this channel named Dr. Lee, and they talked about preventative Botox. And they really sold me on the idea. I was like, oh my gosh, I can prevent wrinkles from like coming into my face. I can do it now. Like, it's a long-term investment. And so I was like, oh my goodness, like maybe I should look into it.
I just feel like you can, like, if we started doing it now, like, I can achieve the same result by using a retinol and sunscreen consistently.
Like, but would that change in the next few years? Like, what do you think?
I just don't feel like it would make a significant impact. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like, I just don't know that you need to, like, inject stuff into your face. Like, and not even, like, you're injecting things, whatever. But I just don't know that you need to, like do that. Like, freeze your face. Like, it's like a normal thing that people do. Like, I just don't think, like, it's necessary.
Yeah, I mean, that is a thing too. And like, I don't know. I've been told just by other people, okay, not me, but I've just been told that like I have like a younger looking face. So I'm 20, but I look like I'm like 16. But, you know, so it is nice, you know. She's saying no. You disagree?
I'm just saying 16. Like, I wouldn't put 16.
Yeah, I've been told by like, I don't know, just by like strangers, they like thought I was 16 or something like that.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so I'm
I always
like,
get older.
you get older than your actual age.
Mm.
But you just carry yourself maturely too. But like, oops, sorry. But yeah. But yeah, no, I'm just like, I don't know, like, I feel like it is nice to stay young, and I think it also has to do something with like just our beauty standards, and like everyone just always wants to look younger, and a lot of celebrities or people who are like wealthy tend to look younger than normal people that don't have the same resources and means as they do. And I wonder if part of that is because of this preventative Botox procedure.
I think that it definitely is. Like, if you look at like the Kardashians, like they have insurmountable amounts of wealth, and so obviously they look so young and so youthful and so flawless, but it's like because they have the means to do that. I also think it would be really interesting to see comparatively how many women versus men get it, because I kind of like, not to bring up Taylor Swift, but the like sexy baby thing, like, it's from 30 Rock originally, and the whole thing was like women want to be like sexy, but they also want to look as young as possible, like and like they make jokes throughout the whole thing, like the woman talks in like a baby voice, and like she's, oh well, you know, like it's just very like stereotypically like feminine, very young, very youthful. Like, I'd like to see kind of the difference between men and women and how they do all of that. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it makes for a very interesting conversation, especially because this procedure, it seems to be a little bit newer, especially as we're evolving like our use with Botox and stuff. Because I feel like Botox is really it's been a lot more involved in other procedures recently, from what I've heard. Like, you can get Botox in your knees, you can get Botox practically anywhere.
You can get it like in your armpits so that you sweat less. Like, you can use it for so many things.
So many things. Whoever created Botox, wow. Amazing.
He's rolling in money.
Rolling in the dough. But, yeah, so that is one thing. But, like, you know, we're talking about this in our ages here as 20. But when we're considering children, maybe that answer changes a little bit. So if I'm considering someone who is under 18 and all they need is their parents' consent, do I think that this procedure is, like, something that they should look into? And that's where my answer changes. I think that it shouldn't. Honestly, I don't think that children should be getting this procedure.
I think, like, I also think, like, it can probably, like, we just don't know now, but, like, could it cause issues later down the road? Like, how is it gonna be when you're 16, but you've been getting Botox, like, you started getting Botox at 16, okay, well, now you're 25. What is that gonna do to your face? What is that gonna make you look like? Like, how is that gonna affect you going forward?
Yeah, that's an interesting thing to consider. And then also, I wonder, like, let's say someone who goes through, like, some sort of, like, lifestyle situation. And so, let's say they were getting Botox at 16, stopped at 25, and then, like, couldn't afford it anymore. What are those effects?
Yeah.
If we're not getting consistent treatment.
And, like, they didn't really talk about this in the article, but I, like, have seen some TikToks about this and stuff. And, like, your face doesn't necessarily get dependent on it, but it overcompensates if all of a sudden you stop.
Okay.
And so, like, the microdosing, like, is probably the best way to do it. But, like, if you're getting true Botox, it's like your face gets, like, used to having that preventative that when it stops, it overcompensates. So you'll get really deep smile lines and you'll get really deep Wi-Fi lines in your forehead. Like your face, like it has been trying to move so much that now that it can, it's like the muscles are spasming all the time when you're moving your face. Like you just become overly expressive.
Yeah. And that was like one of my questions I had. I was like, do you think your face could become reliant on the Botox, so without it you are more susceptible to wrinkles? And I guess you've pretty much answered that. Good job. But like, yes. I think the answer is yes, because like, if you're just so used to having something every day, even if it's meant to like help, like let's just say even pre-workout or something like that, and you're so used to it, and then all of a sudden you don't have it, I feel like your body just becomes reliant on it. Like,
yeah.
I don't think you're able to
do you
perform.
drink coffee in the morning?
Not every morning.
Okay, so I drink coffee every single morning, and if I don't have coffee within the first hour and a half of being awake, I will literally feel like ill. Like I will like actually become like sick because it's like I don't have the thing that my body is like used to having right first thing in the morning when I wake up. Like sometimes I'll like not have time to get coffee, like and I'll be like done with my class and it's 11 and I'm like, oh my god, why do I feel like this? Oh, I haven't had coffee today.
Oh my gosh. And when did you start drinking coffee?
So young.
Okay.
My parents were not at home when I was getting ready to go to school in middle school. I had both already left for work and I knew how to work the Keurig machine. So I started drinking coffee in 7th grade consistently. Yeah. Every single day. In 7th grade. So
it's like 13?
Yeah,
12,
like 12
13.
or 13. Yeah. Which is like, I'm 20 now. Like I turned 21 in 3 months. Like I'm pretty deep in at this point.
Yeah. So it's like almost similar. Like except it's your like face and muscles and something where we can start seeing those effects. I mean, I'm sure you feel the effects, but like you can definitely start seeing them.
External.
Like, external effects. Yeah. So, what do we think about parents and their role to play in this? Like, are parents looking out for their children, wanting them to look young, especially children in like industries? And we've mentioned this in previous episodes before, where children that are in industries where they need to be on film, they need to be on camera, they're modeling. Like, are they looking out for their children in this sense? Is it harming them because they're not letting them like grow up? What would you say?
I think if you're talking about kids in general, I think like the average kid who's not making their money off of being on camera, being on film, that kind of thing, where their face isn't where they're going to make their money, I think parents should let them explore the option. But like I just think it's a decision that you shouldn't make before you're 18. Like I think you need to be an adult. Like you need to know yourself, know your value, like know what you think about yourself and decide for yourself as an adult if that's something that you would really cherish. But I think like the kid actor concept, it's already so close to kind of not being fair to them that like the chances that they're going to wind up getting that are so high. Like so many child actors are overworked. They're going to look older than they are because they're living a lifestyle that kids that are 13 don't normally. That their parents are probably going to have them do that, or their agents are going to do that so that they can keep their career. Yeah. Because they make their money off of being on camera, being on film, and looking the way that they do. Their face can't randomly one day look like they're 35 and they're 24.
Right. Yeah, it almost makes me wonder if some people have done that in those industries, because like once you like, we see a lot of actors who are playing younger children when they're like 30 something and they're playing high schoolers. And it's like, oh my gosh, how long are we going to keep this up? Like, they obviously don't look like high schoolers, but we don't see wrinkles on the screen. We don't see wrinkles. And so I know, like, once a lot of actors hit that certain point where they're like they're parents, they're not playing the lead anymore, they're playing like these parents and all that stuff, like I guess their career starts to decline. So to stop that from happening and to gatekeep Hollywood, I guess maybe some of them will be looking into it. Do you ever see those TikToks of like, can you believe this is what Jennifer Lawrence looks like at Jennifer Lopez looks like at age 52? It's like,
No, because she doesn't look 52 because she's had so many cosmetic surgeries that she's not, like, she doesn't look like the average 52-year-old woman.
Right.
My mom looks like an average 52-year-old woman, but not Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah.
Jennifer Lopez.
I would say, yeah, that makes sense. Definitely makes sense. And then, like, it also just depends on genetics, too, because, like, there's a few sayings, like, Asian don't Rasian, Black don't crack, like, I don't have a third one.
It's okay. Honestly, I'm, like, definitely Irish, and so we probably have, like, the opposite of, like, Irish become raisins. Like,
really?
I'm saying that as a joke,
okay.
but, like, people who are, like, European and don't have a lot of melanin and don't have a lot of, like, natural sun, like, protectants, I think that those people are probably going to be more drawn to procedures like this, like preventative Botox, where, oh my god, but my skin is so fair and I burn all the time, and what if one day with my really expressive face and my really light coloring, like, everybody's gonna know, everybody's gonna see it. And, like, I don't know, I just think, like,
so I guess it would be more, there would be some communities of people who are more vulnerable to wanting / getting this procedure due to their, like, just genetics and how their family, I guess, ages. Like, if someone notices that their parent looks older than other people's parents, that could be something, like, if they're the same age or something. And so that's another thing that brings us to our next point, where, like, it's a mother-daughter bonding activity. Like, maybe the mother is currently getting filler or Botox for their face, and they don't want their daughter to have to go through, like, the amount of dosage that they're going through, so they're like, let's do Preventative for you and the Baby Botox for you. So do we think that's healthy at all?
I think it just depends on the way it's being brought about. Like, if the girl or the kid is as excited about it, not excited, but, like, as accepting of it and as, like, desiring it as much as the mom, I think it's fine. But I think if you're gonna be like, well, sweetie, I look like this because of Botox and filler, and I don't want you to have to do this, so you're gonna go get this. Like, it's like, do you want it and you're choosing it for yourself, or are you being told, this is what I'm gonna do, this is what you're gonna do, this is what we're gonna do?
That, I also think it takes, like, a level of understanding, because, you know, we're gonna start this treatment for you, but we do have to go back and back and back, and here, this is the reason why you're doing it now. It's to prevent, you know, way down the line. Like, does the child who's going with their mom really understand the procedure that they're getting, understand the risk that could be taken with it, long-term effects? Like, I think that's another thing that should definitely be considered. And I think parents typically have the best intentions for their children, but those intentions might not, it's not that the intentions aren't right, but maybe all the, I don't know, like, consequences, side effects aren't weighed out when making those decisions.
Yeah, I think to some degree too, like, because it's, like, a microdose, or it's it's a baby version, like, it's a smaller version, it's not the full thing. I think that people kind of write it off as not having the potential to be harmful. And, like, it's still gonna build up over time. Like, it's not like it's gonna just stop one day. Like, you're still putting that into your body, putting it into your body, putting it into your body. Like, yeah, it's the same dose every time, but your body's becoming more resistant to it. You're probably going to start getting more frequent doses of a smaller version, because your body's just going to build up tolerance. That's the way that things like that work. So, you know, like, you're kind of just, like, making a habit for yourself, like, that you're going to have to stick up with and, like, going to have to keep doing. And, like, I just don't see the desire for it. Like, I just don't see the value in, like, making this become a thing that you have to do every 7 weeks, you know what I mean?
It is definitely, like, an investment, and definitely a long-term investment. And I guess some people could argue, like, how is it any different from getting your hair, like, bleached all the time?
Mhm.
Or how's it any different from, I don't know, like what's something that a lot of people do regularly?
Like
Tanning,
tinting their eyebrows, shaving,
shaving,
in another
waxing,
way, yeah.
laser hair removal.
Yeah.
Like, how is it any different? What's the harm in it? And I think that's another thing that parents could definitely consider. But also, like, doctors, I don't know if they necessarily promote these procedures, but they allow them to happen in their offices. So if the doctors don't see a problem with it, like, what's the problem for the parents, you know?
Yeah, and I think it's hard when you deal with cosmetic surgeries because at the end of the day, they are a personal preference. Like,
Right.
you and I can sit here and I can be like, I don't see the value, and you can see the value, but neither one of us are going to go tomorrow and get it.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
But at the same time, like, I could,
Mm-hmm.
and nobody would stop me because I'm over 18.
Yeah.
I could theoretically have the resources to. Like, if I wanted to try it out for myself just to see, I could. And, like, all cosmetic surgeries are kind of like that, where you can get a consultation. You can kind of try something more, like, you know, like, especially things with the face, like, you can start small and go bigger.
Right. Lip fillers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, lip fillers are hard, though, because they, like, have to be taken out after a while.
Some of them dissolve.
Some of them dissolve, but most of them are, like, they go into your face and then they leave your lips and they kind of start going around. That's kind of where the, like, face comes from, is when it starts to spread outside of just being in your lips.
Yeah.
But, yeah. I think it's just, like, it's so hard because it really is a personal preference, and, like, medically it's not harmful, but, like, are you going to be doing something that's going to keep making you happy, keep making you feel like you're accomplishing something?
Yeah. So, on this podcast, we always ask who should be the person that decides whether these children that are under 18 get these procedures. Should we continue for it to be parents who we just need the parents' consent and the child gets it? Or do we give that authority to the doctors, the people that are performing the procedures? Do you have any idea? Is there any opinions that you have?
I think that to some degree it has to be both of them. I think the doctor has to know that it's something that's not harmful. And, like, in this case, it's not proven to be harmful at all. So your parent needs to be able to do that, especially if you're going to use their insurance or their money or anything like that. You need to be able to get permission from them to do those things to yourself, especially when you're not a fully formed adult, when you're not fully able to make your own decisions and take care of yourself. You have to have somebody who can tell you, yes, you can do this thing. But I think there's also some level of responsibility on medical professionals to be trained, to know what they're doing, to know how much is a half, to know, like, there's so many variables that go into injecting things into your face.
Yeah, I agree with that. I would say, like, I feel like it has to be a combination of all three parties that are participating in this. Like, the parent obviously is the one that is coming to take their child to get there, because otherwise the child does not have that appointment. And then I think the child definitely needs to play a role in this, where they need to have a level of understanding to where the doctor feels like they can trust the child to, like, wanting to get that procedure. Because I think, like, it's enough for the parent to be like, yeah, my child wants this, and, like, they're going to get it now, and this is how frequent we're going to come, we're going to pay whatever money, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But if the doctor can definitely see, like, oh, the child doesn't even understand what's going on, they don't even understand, like, the risks that are involved, or, like, maybe someone's body doesn't react well to it, and they're getting, like, stuff in their face, and let's say they have an allergic reaction, they don't understand, like, the risk with that. I think that the doctor can be like, I don't think your child's ready for this, and, like, refuse it. And, of course, some parents are going to go to whoever they want to, but
some people will take down every door until they get what they want. But I think if people are being responsible and being safe and really looking into what you're doing beforehand, there's nothing wrong with refusing service.
Yeah. And I think a lot of parents also will respect the doctors. I think it's a small amount that are going to be like, let me go wherever I need to go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Any closing thoughts that you want to offer? Anything you'd like to say?
I don't know. This has been fun. This is like a topic that I think is so interesting. Like just in general, I think cosmetic surgery is like so like there's so many things that go into it outside of just like, is it good for you? Because it's also just part of societal norms.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is cool. I like it.
Yay. Well, thank you, and thank you, Lauren, for joining us. Join me for the next episode, episode 4, which is breast augmentation. We're going to be welcomed back by some previous guests, and we have a new guest coming on as well.
Who's the new guest?
Oh, who is it? Take a guess in the comments. Thanks. Bye.